don't think too hard about it. Like if you have it at home, maybe it's an emergency flashlight that's in your junk drawer. Or maybe it's a mitten and a beanie that you think might keep you warm. Like just bring it. You're car camping for a reason. If it fits in your car, bring it in your car.
In a recent report from the hospitality industry, 35% of people say camping is their most affordable travel option, especially with kids. And we're lucky here in California because it's the state with the most campsites. There are 15,000 state-run campsites, not to mention local, regional, and national parks. Camping can be expensive, though, especially the gear. So is it really possible to get out for some nights of camping on the cheap? KQED's outdoors reporter Sarah Wright looked into this for us. She's always out there doing great stuff for us, and she joins us. So you always have great stories, so I have to ask this first. What's your experience camping, and how has it changed over the years?
Yes, so I actually started out as a backpacker. So when I decided to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, that's a 5-month-long trail. So I bought gear that was expensive, lightweight, and that I knew would last a lifetime. I still use that stuff today to go camping, but my new challenge is adding back in fun and comfort into my camping setup as I transition kind of away from these long distance challenging hikes and more into like a fun, relaxing weekend at a local campsite.
So you're not going from that hardcore Pacific Crest, let's get down and dirty for months, all the way to glamping, are you?
I would like to. I'm thinking about it. This last trip, I brought string lights for the first time, and just like the atmospheric glow of the lights made the campsite so much better and so much more fun, and was totally worth it. So I'm headed in that direction for sure.
Okay, string lights. All right. So this most recent camping trip you've taken, you tried to make it work on a tighter budget. So what did you do, and why did you do it?
Yeah, so I wanted to see just how cheaply I could do a weekend camping trip. And the hope was kind of to like keep it under around $200, what I might spend for like a hotel for a weekend getaway. And, you know, in my case, I already had a lot of gear, but I was like, no, I cannot use the gear I have. The challenge is to put myself into the shoes of someone who doesn't go camping, maybe has never gone camping, and is trying to figure out how to get out for a weekend on a budget. So I could only bring things from home that like a reasonable person would have, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow. Well, you took one for the team. That was noble of you as an outdoors reporter. So which campground did you choose and why?
Yeah, so I went to Anthony Chabot Regional Park. It's up in the Oakland Hills. It's super close by, and it's really beginner friendly. It's nestled up in these beautiful eucalyptus trees overlooking Lake Chabot. But more importantly, like it had available reservations. It was pretty cheap. I think my campsite was $33 for the night. And it even has walk-in sites that are even a couple dollars cheaper. And the idea was that I could kind of go there, talk to some people who they themselves are camping on the cheap. And one of those people was Ernesto Carmona. He lives in Richmond.
We don't currently have a yard, so it's awesome for the kids to be able to just run around and explore the outdoors without going too crazy.
And this is Marcus Johnson from Hayward. He got his tent for just $40 off of Facebook Marketplace.
We got tax returns. Now we got a tent, so we're going to go more often, yeah.
That's really cool. So in terms of camping on a budget, I mean, how does it work exactly? Camping gear, you know, can be very expensive.
Yeah, definitely. So the reality is that there are only 3 things that you absolutely actually need to go camping. And that's a tent, a sleeping bag, and a sleeping pad. And that's for safety, like to stay warm at night, to stay safe at night. And each of those items, if you were to buy them new, could be hundreds of dollars per item. And so what I found through this article, what I recommend by talking to experts, is that you don't need to buy those items, especially if you're not going to go that often. Don't spend the money. You can try to borrow them from your network. If you don't have anyone who will lend you them, try to rent them. And that's a really easy solution. A lot of local libraries have rentals or borrowing systems, same with university outdoors clubs. And so if you're really, hoping for a fun weekend getaway, like, you truly don't have to spend all that money, but you do need those 3 essential items.
Okay. So what else did you learn on this camping trip to Lake Chabot?
Yeah, so I myself rented those 3 items just to see how it would go, how much it would cost. I went to Sports Basement. They do weekend-long rentals, day-long rentals, month-long rentals even. And my total for those 3 items plus a camping stove, because I don't have one, came out to just over $100 for 4 days. So I thought that was pretty reasonable, and it was nice gear. Like, this is the same stuff that they're selling up on the main floor of Sports Basement. They're letting you rent it.
Okay. So sleeping bag, is that enough? I mean, is it really enough? Because honestly, from my own experience, a really big factor here is getting cold at night. Even in the summertime, it gets cold when the sun goes down.
Yes, I can attest to that personally. It does get cold. Sleeping bags have ratings. So when you go in and rent, you need to ask like what the rating is. Make sure you're comfortable with that. The rating just means like this sleeping bag will keep you alive at 20 degrees or at 10 degrees or at 0 degrees. Reminder that it's keep you alive, not keep you comfortable. So that's a big distinction. And the main things you can do to stay warm at night, bring extra clothing, especially if you're camping. Just throw an extra jacket in your car. You can even bring a sleeping bag liner. A trick that I have is a Nalgene water bottle, like those hard-sided plastic ones. You can fill them with boiling water and put them in your sleeping bag at night. And it's basically a little like space heater for your sleeping bag. But I also talked to an expert at Sports Basement, Erica Huerta. She works there. And she gave me her top budget-friendly tip for staying warm. And it's a $2 space blanket.
So I will put a space blanket between the tent floor and my sleeping pad. And it's really easy to pack. They're not expensive. And they really help in keeping the warmth from myself seeping into the ground.
I just love that solution. It's so easy and cheap. And I brought a space blanket on my trip, and I even wore it like on me around the campfire, and it kept me extra, extra warm. So it was wonderful.
I love that. I mean, I remember buying a space blanket when I was trying to keep light out of a room, like when I had to sleep during the day. And yeah, they're not expensive. They're really easy to get. They're cheap, but I never thought of it as a way to keep warm at night.
Yeah, and it totally works. Like, that's what these things are made for, right? They're emergency blankets that people bring in case of emergency, and you can also use them in non-emergencies.
So here's my situation. The weekend, which is when usually these camping trips happen, the weekend is really my only opportunity to get some really good sleep in my life because, I wake up real early to do this job. Is there any other little simple thing you can do if you wind up on a camping trip and you want to make sure you're going to get the sleep that you kind of have to be ready to do without when you go on a camping trip?
Totally. I mean, so I do not compromise on sleep. Like, it is the most important thing to me, especially when camping. I have an inflatable sleeping pad rather than, I'm sure you've seen like the foam ones. Yep. Those are not enough.
Those are like yoga mats.
Yeah. So I have one you blow air into it. It's almost like an air mattress. It blows up. A lot of people choose to bring a pillow, like even a full-size pillow. If you're car camping, just bring it. And the other thing a lot of people do is they bring sleep masks because you're gonna be waking up with the sun. Like, you're in a tent. And so if it's light out, it's light in. So a sleep mask can make a big difference. Earplugs if you need it. I actually tend to get really good sleep out camping and in the backcountry because it's so quiet and there's bird noises and maybe there's a creek next to you. So that white noise is kind of built in a way that I find to be very relaxing.
Okay. So is there anything else people should know about how to save money while camping?
Yes. So I would just say, like, don't think too hard about it. Like if you have it at home, maybe it's a emergency flashlight that's in your junk drawer, or maybe it's a mitten and a beanie that you think might keep you warm. Like just bring it. You're car camping for a reason. If it fits in your car, bring it in your car, and just don't worry about like getting it too dirty. You can always put it back in your car. You can always wash it when you get home. And for me, I even like scrounged some thrift stores for some items. I got a cooler that was like $3. The string lights I mentioned earlier, those are solar powered. I found them at my local thrift store. So like have a little fun with it. And, you know, when I was out camping, I talked to Ernesto Carmona. He was there with his family. And he said that lots of their gear he likes to keep it on the cheap side. He gets it from places like Walmart, Target, and Costco because he has kids and he's afraid that they're just going to break the nice gear.
Yeah, as simple as possible is the best way to go. First time we ever camped, we tried to bring like a bunch of fancy stuff, and we were more worried about getting it damaged than enjoying the camping trip. So I think just throwaway type things you don't really care about, you make better memories that way.
Yeah, and I think he's right. Obviously, you know, there's some things that need to be high quality, like a tent, sleeping pad, and sleeping bag, but just bring what you have, bring what you can find. You don't need specialized equipment.
And what about food? I mean, grocery prices are going up too these days. What about it? I mean, is there a cheap way to make sure you get good eating out there?
Definitely. I actually have a lot of experience in this department.
Okay, all right.
From the PCT in particular, we were not trying to spend a lot of money and we were trying to get a lot of food. We were very hungry. And people always ask me, what did you eat out there? And I always say gas station food. I know that sounds crazy, but think about your instant ramen. Think about instant mashed potatoes. Any of these things, boxed mac and cheese, like these are only like $1, you know, or even less at a grocery store. And add a few veggies, add a little bit of meat, add whatever you want, and you will actually get like a beautiful, very easy to cook meal. For this trip, I only spent $15 at Trader Joe's on hot dogs, hot dog buns, oatmeal, like really the most basic, and had a totally great time with what I had. And that's with the stove. You can even go without a stove. And so there's just like so many options. Don't overcomplicate it. Obviously, if you're like an amazing chef and you want to have a chefed out backcountry experience, go for it. But I'm just here to tell you, you don't have to spend like a ton of money on your camping food.
I suddenly have this image of you hiking, really, really long day out there on the trail, and all you can think about is boxed mac and cheese.
I cannot even tell. That was my favorite meal of all the ones we had. I would look forward to, I would save it for the day that I knew was going to be the hardest or the coldest. And I would just look forward to that every single time. I became a total expert in how to cook it, to make the perfect texture, just enough water. You don't even know. It's true.
KQED Outdoors reporter Sarah Wright, thank you.
Thank you so much.